Okay, cool kittens. You have a comic and you want to post it. Where do you do that? Where the heck do you put it? Well, there are lots of platforms you can put your webcomic on. Right, so there are a few community-oriented sites you can post your webcomic on. If you're into webcomics, you're probably familiar with most of them. And I'll be real, I'm probably missing some from this list, but these are the major ones that I've posted on and had good times with. There's Webtoons, Tapastic, Smack Jeeves, Tumblr is another place you can post your webcomic for free. So these four, especially Webtoons, Tapastic, and Smack Jeeves, are very community-oriented sites. They have comment systems built in, they have following systems built in. People are avidly looking for comics. It's an easy place to get found and to have people read your stuff and come back every week to continue reading your stuff. They each kind of have their pros and cons. Webtoons is great because it's super creator-driven and creator-focused. The community there is super sweet. We get the best comments there. The vertical format is kind of expected on Webtoons. They're used to having kind of one panel at a time, all layered on top of each other, instead of a regular printed comic page style where, panels are beside each other and they're all grouped together closely to fit on a page. They're used to the more vertical format, so we've gotten comments on there saying oh, why isn't this update longer? And it's, we have the same amount of panels that another update might do, but ours are all squished together on a page. So they find that weird if they're only used to Webtoons. Webtoons is also great because it has some options to get paid for your work. You can integrate your Patreon, and once you get past a certain amount of followers, I think, you can apply to be paid by Webtoons to post your comic and become a featured comic. For Tapastic, again, it's got an established community. Everyone there is super great and friendly. It used to be super creator focused and was driven by a lot of creator posted comics, regular webcomics. But more recently, they've gone to a more curated set of comics that they're kind of publishing. And I think free users haven't been getting as much attention on there. I'd have to ask Bones because he kind of follows our metrics on there. But it's a great place to upload your comic. Although they have had some scandals with their terms of service changes, so maybe look into that. Talk to someone who is a bit more knowledgeable about that side of things. But anyways, great community, an easy place to post your comic for the first time. The one really cool thing about Tapastic is they have infinite scrolling type thing with their comics, which I think is great. It's really easy to read on mobile for one thing, and it gets rid of that wait time between loading pages. So that's one really great thing that I like about Tapastic. They also have a program where you can get tips from readers. So you get basically Tapastic money from people watching ads or from sending you points and stuff, which can turn into actual money. So there you go. Smack Jeeves, I'm not super familiar with. This was where I used to hang out when I was a teenager. When it was really big. It used to be where all the BL comics are. Anyways, again, it's got an established community. It's really easy to post on there. So if you're looking for a really simple hosting site, Smack Jeeves is definitely a place to go. It's really easy to get found and to find readership. Well, Tumblr is great because I think a lot of people know how to use Tumblr because it used to be really big. Where it's super easy to use. It's super shareable because a lot of other sites have integrated Tumblr sharing usage stuff. So it's easy to really share your posts around. It's easy to post on there. It's a little harder to find readership just through Tumblr's platform. You have to really know how to use the tags, or you have to have basically a pre-established readership and get found elsewhere. At least that's what I've found. Yeah, it's hard just to post your pages on Tumblr and expect people to find it, because most likely they won't. That said, it is easy to integrate, say, your art blog with your Tumblr comic blog. So there's a good point if you use Tumblr already a lot and you have a following. So those are kind of the community-oriented, webcomic-oriented, well, except for Tumblr, but built for webcomic solutions hosting sites you can go to. So they're super easy to use. It's great to find readership there. There is always the danger of the sites closing, or if the sites go down, people can't get to your comics. So what I recommend is even if you post on, say, one of these sites or all of these sites, I actually recommend posting on all the sites. That's what Bones and I do. We have basically a mirror version of all our comics on all the webcomic hosting sites. But we also have our own website in case something happens to those. Having your own site is great because it won't go away if, say, like, I don't know, if Tumblr shut down tomorrow, your comics would still be on your personal website. It's easier to get. You can do a lot of cool stuff like finding out data and metrics, like kind of find out who's reading your comics through like Google Analytics. You can design your site to present your pages however you want. And when you start getting into, say, like comic collectives, say like Spider Forest, Bones and Iron with Spider Forest, it's pretty great. You will need your own personal website. They'll probably ask you to take your comics off of other hosting sites, or at least post on your personal website first. So it's always a good thing to have. If anything, it works as a backup for all your comics. But it is a little harder to get people to go to your personal website, especially when you first start, because a lot of webcomic readers, they like Webtoons, they like Tapastic, that's where they want to hang out. Like I said, I think having the backup and having your own kind of domain is kind of the best course of action. With building your own comic website, WordPress is a great place to start. I've been recently looking into Grawlix, which is a new webcomic website thing. I'm like just beginning to look into it, so I could probably give a better review of it later. Yeah, I hope that helps with anyone who's kind of new to this, or they're not sure where to put their comic. I'd recommend, like I said earlier, post it everywhere. You'll get a wide audience. It's really good to kind of meet people on the social media they want to use, because everyone has their own preference. So you're just kind of meeting your fans where they like to hang out, which is the best course of action, I think. That said, if you only really want to use one, say like Webtoons is your favorite, and you only want to stick there, that's cool. Just put all your focus there, and keep climbing the popularity ladder. That's totally cool. That's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!